Hey all, welcome back to another lesson. We're going to be looking at another McReynolds style cross-picking solo. This time it's from the tune 9 Pound Hammer off of Jim and Jesse's 1963 recording. We're going to be talking about the picking patterns Jesse uses, as well as the kind of chord shapes that he's using to navigate these kind of tricky passages. Before we get into the lesson, I just wanted to give a quick thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, specifically Jeff, who commissioned this transcription. If you want the full PDF transcription of this solo and lots more behind the scenes, video lessons, all kinds of different content, go check out my Patreon. I would really appreciate it if you would. And without further ado, let's get right into the lesson here. This version of 9 Pound Hammer, they're doing it in the key of B major. There's only 3 chords in this one, the 1, the 4, and the 5. So in the key of B, that's B is the 1, E is the 4, and F sharp is the 5. A lot of versions of this tune go something like this. Right, 1, 4, 1, 5, 1, something like that. This one, however, skips the time where you go back to the 1 chord and just goes straight from the 4 up to the 5 and then back to the 1. So it's just like the chords for Blue Ridge Cabin Home or something like that. So a little different than you might have heard, but it makes it a little bit simpler, I think, for kind of getting some of these cross-picking ideas, just kind of moving between chords and having, you know, the even amount of time on each one. Before we get into the whole solo, I just want to talk real quick about the picking patterns that we're going to use. So there are 2 picking patterns that occur in this song. One is like a 2-measure pattern, and then the other one just takes the space of 1 measure. The 2-measure pattern goes like this. Down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. All right, so that's a lot of random downs and ups, it might sound like, but there's a method to the madness here. The way that I think about this one is we're gonna have 3 counts of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3. 3 counts of 3. 1 count of 2, just the D and the A string. Another count of 3, 1, 2, 3, and then 1 more count of 2. So we've got 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. In practice, that sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Before we go any farther, let's just really make sure that we've got that picking pattern down. It's going to be used throughout this whole solo. It's really important for playing this McReynolds style of cross-picking. Real importantly, we're also going down, up, up, down, up, up, right? So almost like a banjo roll or something along those lines. So let's just repeat that pattern a couple times. I'm just gonna loop it, I'll count, and you know, just try to play along with me here. I'm just doing it on an E major triad right now, G sharp, B, and E. So let's try that. 1, 2, ready, go. Here it goes again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. One more time. 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right. If you still haven't gotten that, feel free to pause the video, work on that, and then come back once you're ready. Okay, so the second pattern that we're going to use is a little bit simpler. It's just going to be a 3-3-2. Okay, so it's just 1 measure, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. We're using the same picking directions, down, up, down, up, down, up. Going D, A, E, D, sorry, D, E, A, D, E, A, D, A. Okay. All right, so now that we've got that under our fingers, let's hop right into the solo here. So we're gonna start off with a pretty classic couple of pickup notes. Just a B major triad here on the D and the A string, and then going up to the ring finger on the D string. And if we're counting that, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, and then that's the downbeat. So the downbeat, we're gonna slide up with our ring finger up to the 13th fret, one above your double dots there. 13th fret to grab a D sharp note. We're gonna put our first finger on the A string on the 9th fret, and then our open E string, we're gonna leave that open. So we've got 13, 9, open. All right, so once we get up here, we're gonna do that pattern that I was just talking about, okay? So the 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. So here's how that's gonna sound. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, let's try that one more time. Ready, go. Great. All right, so now we're gonna take that shape, we're gonna move it down back to first position here for an E major triad. Ring finger on the 6th fret on the D string, first finger on the 2nd fret on the A. But before we actually get there, we're gonna do a little hammer on. 2nd finger on the 4th fret of the D string, hammering on the ring finger on the D string. Then we're gonna do our same pattern here, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. So same pattern with our pick. You might have noticed there's one thing that I added in there with my left hand, which is my 2nd finger on the A string. So the first two groups of 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, are just gonna be as is. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The third one, we're gonna put our middle finger down and grab that C sharp note. So now we're ending on a C sharp. Now we've got our group of 2. We're gonna go back to first finger on the A string, but here we're gonna do something a little tricky, which is we're gonna do a hammer on back to that 2nd finger, and then take it off again. So that's gonna sound like this. And then we finish out our pattern with just the 3 and the 1, right? So all together, that's gonna look like this. 2, ready, go. Okay. All right, so that's all over our E major chord, the 4 chord. Next, we're going up to the 5 chord, F sharp. For this one, ring finger is up on the 11th fret of the D string, middle finger is on the 9th fret of the A string. Okay, so nice little F sharp double stop there. Again, we're gonna leave the E string open. This time that E string is gonna give us a nice little flat 7, so kind of turning this into an F sharp 7 chord. Same pattern with our right hand, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 2. But this time we're gonna do a couple different things with our left hand. So the first group of 3, just like that. D, A, D, E, A, with the same fingers I was just saying. The second pattern, we're gonna put our index finger down on the 6th fret of the E string. So this is a little bit of stretch here, might be a little further than you're used to putting your finger, but that gives us a nice full F sharp chord there. So, just like that. All right, we've got one more group of 3. So this next one though, we're actually gonna start on the A string. We're gonna put our pinky down on the 12th fret of the A string. And then we're gonna do a down there and then an up on the E string, and then take that pinky off and do another up on the A string where our middle finger was. So you can just leave that down the whole time, right? So we've got now we've got our 2, 3, 2. For the 2, we're we're going to put our index finger on the 7th fret of the A string, go between the D and the A string there. Then for our next 3, and then the 3 is going to be the open E string and the 7th fret of the A string, and then we finish it off with those 2 notes one more time. So that's just like that. All right, so that whole phrase over the F sharp is going to go like this. Ready, go. All right, so now we're back to our 1 chord, the B. For the first ending here, we're going to do that other pattern that I was talking about, the 3-3-2, and that's going to happen twice. So first it's going to be here, 3-3-2. First little chord shape there is going to be ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string, index finger on the 6th fret. This is like, you can kind of imagine a B chop chord, right? We're going to do that with the open E string. So 3, 3, and then for the 2, we're actually going to go down and grab that E major double stop again, ring finger on the 6th fret, index finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. And then to finish it off, I'm going to go down to this B double stop that we started with, right? And we're going to go. Okay, so we're going to do another little hammer on there. Same kind of hammer-on idea, second time, just like that. All right, so now we're halfway through the break. We're back to the top, and we're going to do pretty similar stuff the second time around, just a couple of small variations. So back to the B chord, we're going to jump right back up to that high double stop position that we started with here. Ring finger on 13 on the D string, index on 9 on the A string. We're going to do the same picking pattern. This time though, the third time, we're going to put that middle finger down on the A string and then do that little hammer on. Think about what we did over the E last time. We're going to do that same idea but up here in B. Then we go down to E, we do that exact same pattern over the E again. That's all the same. And then we're going to start this last phrase out the same as well, but it's going to change slightly at the very end. So this is all the same. And then here's where it's going to change slightly. We're going to just move our index finger down to the 6th fret on the A string to grab that D sharp note, and then that gives us this nice little kind of scale line. So we had, let's see, just like that. So that whole phrase sounds like this: 3, 4. And then to end it, we're going to break out of that cross picking pattern. We're just going to do a little Monroe lick out of this kind of B chop chord position, starting with ring finger on the 9th fret of the D string, jumping to middle finger on the 7th fret of the E string, little octave there. Jump your ring finger over to the A string, same fret 9, and then walk down the scale 9, 7, 5, slide up to 6 with your index finger. That's going to be your flat third to major third, and then you end back on your ring finger on the D string, your B note, and then you're back into chopping out of the solo. Just like that. All right, let's take it one time through the whole thing slowly here. 1, 2, 3. right, folks, that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you want to learn next time, and I hope to hear from you soon. We'll see you next time. Bye.